Hey everyone, I'm Ron Todd, a professional YouTuber who makes professional videos. I haven't uploaded in a while, so I figured I'd come back with a bang. A while ago, I uploaded 3 videos talking about the Mega Construx Masters of the Universe figures, or sets, with part 1 being the individual figures, part 2 being the medium-sized set, and part 3 being the large set. And those remain some of my most popular videos on the channel, so I figured I'd do a sequel. Mega Construx has been releasing new figures and new sets, and I recently got the new set, so I figured I'd do a 3-part review. Again, it'll be kind of the same structure. So part 1, which is today, will be the individually packaged figures. Part 2 will be the Battle Cat vs. Roton set, and Part 3 will be the Point Dread vs. Panther set. So, let's get things started with the single-packed figures. Okay, so here we are. So there were 5 individually packaged figures released this year. At least so far. I don't know, there might be another series coming out. But there are also 2 other figures released, and I'll get to those at the end. So let's start things off with our first single-packed figure, Stratos. There was a Stratos released last year. Let me just compare them here. As you can see, they are virtually identical. The only main difference, like the only truly visible one that you can clearly see without having to take a closer look, is that this Stratos and this Stratos have the colors of their wing pieces and armor pieces inverted. So the first Stratos has red wings and blue armor, and the second Stratos has blue wings and red armor. This is actually based on a real variant of the original figure from the 80s, so points for accuracy, I guess. There are a few more subtle differences, like this Stratos has slightly different paint applications on his head than this Stratos. Also, the gold on the staff is slightly darker, but you kind of have to look closely for that. So, one thing you should note right off the bat is that starting with this set, they have a new type of stand. The old stands were 3 pieces. This little nameplate piece, this little thing here you could stand the figure on, and then 1 piece in the back for stability, I guess. But this is all 1 piece. And he fell over. There's a good look at the bottom. So he fell over there, yeah. So it's a 1-piece stand design now. And here's this comparison in size to a Lego minifigure. So he's about a head or so taller. And he has marginally more articulation. I'm going to remove the minifigure and the other Stratos. So, remove the accessory. He has a ball-jointed head, so you can look up and down and all around. He's got universal joint at the shoulder. Let's see if I can show you this here. You can swivel it around, move it out. Same with the elbow. You can swivel it, turn it like that. His hand can swivel. I'm not going to show that because reasons, but trust me, his hand can swivel. Got a bit of waist articulation, so you can turn left and right. Ball jointed hips, they can move out and such, and then knees. So in terms of accessories, he has the same green crystal staff that the other Stratos had. Really the only difference is that the gold is slightly darker. So yeah, this is definitely the most uninspired figure, but I do think it's cool that they felt the need to produce a figure based off of variants of the original toy. So for those of you variant collectors, there you go. Okay, next up, Evil Lyn. It's another Evil Lyn figure, the second one released in this line. And when you compare it to the original, you note that this is in a much more Filmation cartoon inspired look. As you can see, this one here, the first one, first Evil Lyn, is a lot more toy-based with yellow skin and navy blue clothes, I guess, and then this one has more realistic flesh tone color and or is purple. Also, the staves they have pretty much the same construction, but they have different colors. And also, this one is really cool because it's a clear blue ball with silver tampos on it. This one is just black. Safe to say, I prefer the original Evil Lyn. I like the purple, but I don't know. I just don't like this figure very much. It's cool that we get a Filmation Evil Lyn, but it wasn't really needed. Okay, now here is Skeletor. Yeah, another Skeletor. Seriously, there's so many Skeletors in this line. But this one is, just like with Evil Lyn, much more Filmation based. This is the 4th Skeletor released so far. So, let's compare them here to the 3 others. As you can see, here's the first single pack Skeletor. As you can see, these 3 here, let's just, yeah. So we got the single pack one, Wind Raider Skeletor, and the one that comes with Castle Grayskull. As you can see, this Skeletor is visibly a darker blue, or a more neon shade of blue. As you can see, these 3 Skeletors are all very light blue colors, and this one is a lot, yeah. This coloration, it has led me to dub this figure Disco Skeletor. I don't know why, but yeah. But other than that, he's fundamentally the same, has all the same pieces, but his Havoc staff is, again, just like with the rest of this figure, very Filmation based, because instead of it being all the same color like the original toy, as on the single pack one or the Grayskull one, this Skeletor has the pink staff with the white ram skull on the top, which is what they did in the Filmation cartoon. But yeah, this is probably my second favorite Skeletor they've released so far. The Castle Grayskull one is still my favorite because I just like the darker purple. But I kind of like it because it's at least something different than these other 3. But we didn't really need another Skeletor. Okay, next up is Mossman. See, Mossman was released previously, actually, in the Comic-Con exclusive Battlebone set, which I don't have because I don't go to Comic-Con. I don't have the money for that. But he was released in that set, and there he actually was flocked, like the original toy. This one is not flocked, because why would they flock a $5 figure? In fact, this wasn't $5 when I got it. I found it on clearance. So this Mossman is a redeco of Beastman. I have a Beastman here for comparison. As with every Mossman ever. And sometimes the Beastman recycling works, like with the original figure, and I'm going to say here, and other times it doesn't really work because they try to make Beastman look fierce, doesn't translate well to this. But here it totally works. I do like the green color, and it's pretty good. Unlike the original figure, unfortunately, it is not pine scented, which sucks, but I mean, it's $5. Even then I got it for like $2.50 probably. So, yeah. And there's one major complaint I have about this figure is that they didn't give him the right mace. The Mossman has always come with a redeco of the mace that came with Clawful. And there is no Mega Construx Clawful, at least not yet. Apparently there are leaked prototypes of a Clawful figure or something, I don't know. That might not be coming out for a while. But they do have the mold for the mace, because it came with Castle Grayskull. And the Comic-Con one included the correct mace. Because even though they clearly had the right mold, they chose to have this 2-piece generic-looking mace. And I don't like that. It just doesn't really work. I mean, it's kind of grown on me, but I just don't like that they didn't use the proper accessory for this figure. But other than that, Mossman, probably one of the more interesting ones in this set. Okay, last one of the single pack figures, Prince Adam. You know, I never expected him to make this one. It's cool that we're getting a Prince Adam figure. So this figure pretty much follows the tradition that all Prince Adam figures have followed, to where they just take the base He-Man mold, colors chest white to make it look like he's wearing a shirt, color everything, make it look like he's wearing pants, and then add a newly tooled vest piece. And I thought this vest would be rubber, but it's actually hard plastic like Man-at-Arms armor. And as the Roton and Point Dread sets have proved, which I'll review in the coming few days, they have definitely started using this harder plastic style more. Which, I guess that makes sense. I mean, the rubber is going to dry rot eventually unless you keep it stored properly. But Prince Adam is probably my favorite in this set. I like him. He's got the pink power sword. And it's great for those of you fans of the Filmation cartoon. This is very, very Filmation accurate. And if there's one main complaint I have with this figure, it's that it didn't come with an Orko figure. Like, I knew it wouldn't, but I thought it would be really neat if it came with, like, a one-piece Orko figure. Like, you know how there's Zoar and the Castle Grayskull set? I thought it would be something like that. I think that would be pretty cool, but it didn't, and there's still no Orko figure in this line, which I'm not complaining. I don't like Orko. So, that's all 5 of the single-packed figures released. But as I said, I would be reviewing 7. So, let me explain. Mega Construx has started to release these little Versus 2-packs, to where they take 2 figures, 1 good guy, 1 bad guy, and they put them in a 2-pack and then include a bunch of weapons and stuff. So they did that with Masters of the Universe, and originally I was debating whether or not I was going to get this one, but I decided to do it because it was also on clearance. Yeah, the He-Man stuff went on clearance really fast in my local Walmart. Like, not the sets, but the individual figures did. So they released a He-Man versus Beastman 2-pack, which, if I'm honest, I'm just glad it's not another Skeletor. We got another He-Man. But these guys definitely do try and do something unique. Something I really like about the He-Man in this set is that it's kind of hard to see on camera, but there's silver paint on the edge of his axe and on the edge of his blade, or of his power sword. Can't really see it, but it's definitely painted silver, which I think is a really neat touch. Same standard shield. Yeah, and also, as you can notice, his armor is visibly like a more bluish. So here's a comparison. I only removed Beastman from the picture right now. So here's the Versus Pack He-Man. This is Wind Raider He-Man, Castle Grayskull He-Man, and the single-packed He-Man. You know, the single-packed one is the only one without his axe. So as you note, the Versus He-Man has a visibly much darker armor piece. It's like a more bluish. Kind of looks a bit blue when it's off camera. I don't know what else coming out here. But also, you'll note that it ditches the brown dots from the belt. Let's see if I can. And also, unlike the Wind Raider and Filmation-based single-packed one, he doesn't use the one armor piece on the one arm and the permanently molded in one on this arm. He does what the Grayskull one does and has 2 removable armor pieces, which I really like. And of course, as with all the other figures, got that cool storage in the back of his armor, which I really wish more figures did that, but they don't. So that's really all to say about the Versus He-Man. Just another He-Man, but with darker armor. And on the Beastman. So this Beastman is cool. I like him. So in terms of comparison, here's a single-packed one, and here's the Castle Grayskull one. As you know, there's a pretty big difference between the Grayskull and the Versus Pack one. And then the single-packed one, as you can see, there is a bit of difference. This is visibly a darker, more neon shade of orange. Definitely darker if you're just looking at it. It looks a lot lighter than it does on camera. Or it looks a lot lighter on camera than it does what I'm seeing here. It's also got brighter red armor, and unlike the other 2 Beastmen, it comes with a red whip instead of a black one. Also, unlike all the other single-pack figures and He-Man from the same pack, he comes with a purple stand. I don't really know why, but it's unique. It just kind of looks weird. So, yeah, that's really it. So that's my review of the... Oh, wait. I forgot about one other thing. The Versus Pack included 2 other weapons. Included this thing, this sword. There, I forgot to mention that. Okay, so for reals this time, that was my review of the Mega Construx Masters of the Universe 2020 single pack figures and Versus Pack. I hope you all enjoyed. So stay tuned tomorrow for when I review the Roton and Battle Cat.